Hey, and welcome back to the last Tech Byte Tuesday of the year. And to celebrate the last one, we're going to talk a lot about some things that you can do at the end of the year to kind of wrap up your year with all things Google. So at the end of the year, there's a bunch of big things that you want to take a look at and make sure that you are cleaning up so that you're ready for next year. So first things first is in Google Classroom. One of the things that you guys can do is at the end of the year, you can archive your classes. And that way, it won't appear on your end, it won't appear on the student's end. It'll still be, you can go back and you can call it back. So there's a section in here for archive classes down here at the bottom. But one of the big things you want to take a look at is, this is the class that the Teacher Center just offered. So at the end of the year, if I wanted to archive the class, what I could do is I could actually hit archive. And, you can see that it'll archive for all the students, participants, can't be modified teachers or students. So basically it freezes everything, kind of hides it from everybody. And what you can do is, so this very crowded screen that a lot of people have, what happens is that you can, kind of clean it up and get ready for next year. So again, if I was going to archive this class, what I'll do is I'll actually archive a different class so that it doesn't screw anything up too much. And what I'll do is I'll actually archive this class. I'll put it into archive, and you can see that it's actually disappeared. But if I come down here to my archived classes, you can see that here are some archived classes that have also been in the back. So here's the one that I just did. And if I want to restore it, I can hit restore. And what happens is it'll appear back in my Google Classroom main page. So that'd be one thing that you can do to kind of clean up some things. You can see I'm kind of a member of a lot of class, so that'd be easy. Now, another big thing that you should do, and this is more of a kind of have to do, especially for students that are going to be looking at assignments next year, is you're going to want to make sure that you return all of the missing assignments or all the assignments that have been turned in. A lot of times people turn them in, but towards the end of the year, people get a lot of stuff, and sometimes then the teacher still remains the owner. So the easiest thing you can do is come up here to grades and wait till all the grades appear. You can see all the people. A lot of people signed up and did one, they did a couple here and there. That was how it was. But if you go next to each assignment, you can see the three dots here, the snowman. And if you click on the snowman, what you can do is you can actually hit where it says, looks like all of these have been returned. So it's only going to appear if there are some unreturned assignments. So you see if I clicked here, it's grayed out, it doesn't show. But if I come over here to this assignment, what happens is that it's going to say return all, and this person will be having their work returned to them. And that's really important because then not only that, but it also hands the ownership back to the students so that next year, if they need to do it for like portfolio work or to edit anything like that, they will have the editing ability. So that'll be our second big thing that we want to take a look at. So the third big thing is, if you ever notice that in Google Classroom is that it makes a Google Calendar for everybody. And it makes a Google Calendar for every one of your classes. So if you can see, I come into Google Calendar right over here. And over on the side here, I have a whole ton of classes. Now, at the end of the year, what I'm going to do is I want to try to hide some of these. And if I select one of them, I hit the snowman right here, and I can hit hide from list. And what that's going to do is that's going to hide it. I can unhide it eventually, but what I'm going to do is at the end of the year, just keep the ones here. They're already turned off. You can see I turn them off and on. But at the end of the year, what I want to do is I actually want to get rid of all of these from showing up in my list. So clean up your calendar at the end of the year. And now the last thing that we're going to take a look at is, remember that you have inside of each Google Classroom, it's going to make a folder inside of your Google Drive. So if I click where it says Class Drive folder, you can see that every assignment has its own folder. But inside Classroom, just a hint, do never, ever, ever delete this Classroom folder because it's going to be a pain in the butt and it's going to make it really, really difficult. But so you can see that inside here, there's a ton of classes that have been made throughout this year. So one of the big things to do is to actually, at the end of the year, is to kind of create a folder. So I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call it 2020 2021. And at the end of right there, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take all of the classroom folders that I've made this year, and I'm going to then move them up into that new folder that I just made. So that way at the end, you can see that I have a lot of stuff to clean up here. But at the end, what it's going to do is it's going to eventually clean it up so that I can put all of my folders back into one folder for the year. So that was a lot. You saw how to archive work. You saw how to return or archive classes. You saw how to return your work back to the students. You saw how to clean up your calendar. And you saw how to address some of your Google Classroom folders. So, like I said, that was a ton. If you have any problems, please reach out. Again, this is going to be the last Tech Byte Tuesday for the school year. Take a look for some over the summer. And obviously in August, when things start to ramp back up again, take a look for some more things from the Ed Tech Committee that come out to help everybody. So again, thank you very much. And hope everybody has a great summer. Take care.